Um, Hi Sanjay, how are you doing?
Well, you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Great. So thank you for taking out your time to speak to me today. I thought it'd be good
Of
to have a
course.
conversation and catch up with you. Because obviously as you've just started your own business and you've just moved away from the corporate sector, what are the current data trends around at the moment?
Yeah, thank you for the warm welcome. In terms of data trends that I come from large business. I came from enterprise where I worked for companies that were 50,000 employees and larger. And I'm consulting now for medium to enterprise level. But the data trends that I'm seeing more so on the medium to large businesses is that they've found ways to make revenue and they're doing a good job of it. So they probably found product market fit, able to generate revenue, and now they're noticing after maybe a year in business that there's revenue fluctuations. And what they're trying to figure out is what's driving those fluctuations when it's doing really well, what's driving that? When it's down, what's driving that? So my whole consulting aspect of helping those businesses is to come in, help them understand what's driving their business, what are
Yeah,
those data points to look for that could be driving your business, and creating some KPIs as well, because these KPIs, they might have had it when they started, like we want X amount of users, but as they continue on their journey, they're not monitoring it as well as they could be, or they're not keeping historical trends. So the thing about big business in where you are in North America as well is that data is a really big aspect of what they do. And I've also been involved in executive level reporting where the execs love their reports, right? They want their reports on their desk like every Tuesday morning or Monday morning. And they look at that data. That data is really insightful for them
yeah,
because they're able to look at it, and some of them have gotten so good at looking at data that they'll spot these trends like sight unseen, and they'll say, okay, this department, let's look into this department, give me an answer on this, investigate this. So the leadership teams in larger companies are well equipped with data, and the trends that I'm seeing after being a consultant for, I'm hitting a year now, and the trend that I'm seeing is the almost the lack of data. So I'm coming in to help them set up those data structures, because they might even have the CRM that has the capability for all the data. The problem is that a lot of the companies will only use a portion of it. So it's like, here, get this software and it'll help you run our entire business, but we'll use the bare minimum and we'll keep it to about 20%. So companies already have the capabilities for data, but it just seems like they're not utilizing it. Once
yeah.
they start utilizing it and they look at the historical trends, they look at what trends are in the last 8 weeks, for example, that will help them determine how to navigate forward. One of the other aspects is that small businesses will rarely forecast. So they might have goals of, hey, I want to hit X amount, but in terms of like daily forecasting, there's where larger enterprise companies will, have an entire department dedicated to that. So it's not a fault of their own, it's just a lack of resources sometimes, that they don't have all the data tools and structures in place.
Yeah, no, it's really important to visualize that, isn't it? So as a small business or any business really. Okay,
Yeah,
no, sounds great. And obviously the big trend of AI. What's your thoughts on AI at the
right.
moment and how it affect your current company?
The So AI is so new, and a lot of people have been talking about it. And I've noticed that there's two types of people when it comes to AI. There's the people who are talking about it, and then there's the people who are learning about it.
Yeah.
And I've fallen under both camps, right? So,
Yeah.
so at a time, I was speaking to other consultants about it, other companies about AI and the trends and how it's going to impact. On the other side, I've had conversations with people who are actually using and learning AI, right? So I'm actually working with a company and partnered with a company to help small businesses in Canada, and we're actually using AI to prompt the AI system to give us information. So how it works is you still need to provide data because without the data, AI won't have the best answers. It's not going to come up with these answers like from its own brain essentially. What works really well with AI, I'm finding, is that you have to feed it data, and
Yeah.
then AI is able to create a repository of all this data, and it can also make connections. So if you were to feed it some information about like retail data, and then a month later you give it information about retail shrinkage data, and say, "Hey AI, combine those two data points and give me a case study," and AI will spit that out for you. So the people who are learning AI, and I'm trying to be part of that camp more, where I'm starting to learn more about AI. It comes with the data, the data requirements. It's only going to be as good as the data that we give it. So I think AI is one of those tools where we need to learn how to use it, and we need to feed it really good information in order to get good information out of it.
No, that sounds really interesting. And have you like currently put that's AI related? I know you mentioned a few projects that you were
Sorry, come
working
again?
on.
I missed that question.
Sorry, yes, have you like implemented anything to do with AI in your current company? Any like things that you're using at the
I
moment?
Yeah, I think like most businesses, I'm essentially using an additional resource right
Okay.
now. So it works out that I have an additional resource. It's almost like having another person at your company because you can give it a job to do. And for example, I have a small business client that we're doing the whole end-to-end B2B marketing and sales aspect of it. So we're creating content. So I'll tell AI to create content around a specific blog that we want to create for the business. And I'll ask a question. So I don't say, AI, create a blog for me. I say, AI, tell me about this. So I'll ask it about three, four questions. I'll say, give me the benefit of this. How would I utilize this? What is the downside of this? So it's only going to be as intelligent as the questions that we ask AI. So I don't say, AI, give me this information. I ask it intelligent questions, and then we take that data. And I find that what's great about it is it essentially takes you about 80% of the way there. And then me and my team and my client will work on finishing up the rest, giving it that human touch. Because anything that AI produces, I think that it requires the human touch to make it more authentic,
Yeah,
and
of
that's how I'm
course.
using AI in my business right now.
Okay, no, that's really interesting. And is there anything else that you would like to add that would be interesting to talk about in the data world?
In terms of data, I would just say that start keeping tab of data. If it Even if it's an Excel sheet, whatever you can do to keep track of the data, do it now. Instead of doing it later when you might not be able to capture all that data. So I would say like the best time to start capturing data is yesterday, but the next best time to capture it is today.
Yeah, no, great. Thank you. Thank you so much for your insight.
Yeah,
That's
no problem, Sweta.
positive. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.